Today we're going to be making giant lollipops made entirely out of pool noodles and PVC. Now each lollipop ranges in size from 5.5 feet to almost 7.5 feet tall, so join me for this ride. So to start building our lollipops, we're going to need standard size pool noodles. Now I got this one on Amazon, but they're available at Dollar Tree, Dollar General, Target, Walmart, Lowe's, Home Depot, you name it. But since it's off season, your best bet right now is to get it at a Dollar Tree or to get it online. So I picked the color blue. So for my swirl effect, I'm going to use this lime green. Now this is duct tape. This particular company makes this in about 10 different colors, and I have them all. But I thought the lime green would be a nice contrast to the blue here. So what we're going to do is we're just going to unfurl it like this. And starting from the top, we're going to place it like that and start doing the candy cane twirl effect or swirl effect, should I say. And just like this, we're going to keep on going down. Just being careful to make sure that everything is sticking. But look how easy, we're almost halfway there. So once we do this, we're going to do one and then we're going to do two more. We need a total of 3 pool noodles for this size lollipop that we're making. The more pool noodles you add, the harder it gets. So every time I've made pool noodles in the past that became lollipops, it was always tedious, time consuming, and could really put a workout in because you have to hold it down while you wait for the hot glue to dry. So I've built a little wooden contraption that I hope cuts that in half, because every time I make them, I can spend hours making a couple of them and it's just never that fun. So I'm going to show you now this little contraption I made. Hopefully it makes everything easier, makes it simpler for you, the viewer. So let me show you what I made. So for this contraption I'm going to be using 3 pieces of 2-inch by 3-inch wood. Now each piece has been cut to 20 inches, and as you can see we have 3. So basically what we're going to do, 1 piece on the bottom, 1 piece in the middle on the side, and another piece right across from it like this. So you want it to look just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my pre-drill tip, and as some people have mentioned, what size tip am I using? I actually don't know because all my tips are mixed up, but this tip is just smaller than the screw that I'm using. So when you're going to do a pre-drill, just find a tip that is smaller than the width of the screw that you're using, okay? But I actually don't know what size is it. So we're going to go like this, put it like that. Pre-drill on this side, put 2 screws, pre-drill on the other side, put 2 screws, and we're done with this one. Okay. We have ourselves our contraption. Now that we've attached this like this, we're going to be using 2 screws. Now I have 3-inch screws that are here, and I also use 3-inch screws down here, but we could have used smaller screws. It's just what I had lying around. So these 2 screws are going to go in right here on the side, on either side, just like on both sides, should I say, like this. You can put it halfway up like this. You can put it lower. I'm going to go just a little bit lower than halfway and go right there. I've already pre-drilled my holes, and I'm just going to go in just like that. You don't want to come out on the inside. So we're going to do the same thing on this side. Perfect. I didn't come out on the inside, just like this. So you have them like that. And what this is going to act as it's going to act as an anchor for this rope. I had this rope lying around, and I'm just going to tie a simple knot on this rope, just like that. You see this knot right there. And what we want this to do is go like this to the other side. Like that. So this is going to act as the anchor to hold down the pool noodles once we start rolling it up. But it doesn't only have to be at the top like this. Once the pool noodle gets to maybe this height right here, we can bring it through the side, or we can do it like this, the side, and then do it like that. This is only what we're doing to try to hold down the pool noodle from pushing up. But since this rope is easy to detach, I'm probably going to just end up cutting it right here or like this and making a little knot right there once it's that side. Then as it keeps on growing, as your pool noodle lollipop keeps growing, you can keep on attaching the rope because it's going to want to push up on you. But doing it this way will save you time and strength, because holding down that pool noodle while you wait for the hot glue to dry is just so tedious and time consuming. So let's see if this kind of weird contraption that I made works. So like I said with the rope, just tie a simple knot here. This rope is actually about 4 feet long. You could use twine, you could use ribbon, just anything that you're able to tie up and it has good enough strength that it won't tear. So for the rolling process, this is how we're going to do it. So as you can see, the tape on the bottom, we just roll it in on itself like that. We're perfectly fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the first 4 to 5 inches and we're going to roll it in on itself just like this. Okay? Once you do that, we're going to continue this rolling process, but we need to put hot glue in here. Generous amounts of hot glue. And you want to work fast because it's nice and cool outside. It'll start drying faster. So we're going to start doing that. Hot glue, make a circle, and then turn it around just like this. And we're going to keep on doing that until we've completely rolled it up. And don't worry about your tape crinkling or anything like that. It'll be fine. We just need to roll this up, and we need to do it rather quickly. And that's where this little contraption comes in, because as this is drying, you're going to be holding it, and you need to hold it until the glue dries. And the glue can take anywhere from 30 seconds to 1.5 minutes to dry. If you release too soon, the strength of this kickback is going to undo all your hard work. So you need to make sure that the hot glue has dried before releasing it. So let's get started. So I have my glue gun. I also have my Gorilla Glue clear duct tape, because we're going to need this one. And we're going to need this one to tie up the ends once we get to that part. You need to put some hot glue in here. Stick it to the other piece. Make sure you follow the same type of pattern. So like this. And then wrap it with some of this Gorilla clear duct tape. So, like I said, we're going to fold the first 4 inches. I'm going to put a bit of hot glue in there. And we're going to do it like this. Then we're going to continue. This, like I said, move fast. So look, I'm putting hot glue on about 12 inches of pool noodle. And then I start. And this is where this apparatus comes in. The pool noodle is going to try to push out. It's going to try to come out this way, come out that way, get all wonky. So this is helping us keep everything straight in line like that. So let me grab my other stick of glue. We're going to go through a lot of glue, so have your glue handy. And as always, I'm using Gorilla Glue, hot glue. So we're going to continue the process. Get on this side. Maybe the camera can see it. And just start putting generous amounts of hot glue. As you can see, I'm putting generous amounts. The hot glue starts melting through the PVC, but that is okay. We just want a healthy amount of hot glue. Then we continue with the rolling process. Roll it. Roll it. Roll it. Okay. And right there, I'm getting a lot of bounce back. This wants to let go and go flying. This is where our rope comes in, keeping it nice and taut like that. Attach it on the other side. Just like so. I could let it go, but I feel it wants to undo itself. So this is where you could do the simple knot like it did on the opposite side. But I'm just going to hold it right there and essentially we're just waiting for it to dry. Instead, you'd have to be holding it in place like this. And sometimes I would hold it for up to, I don't know, 2 minutes to ensure that the glue was dried on the inside. And that puts a workout in. It definitely puts a workout in. So while I'm doing this, holding it gently like that, I'm gonna put another stick of glue, if it fits, okay? And I'm gonna put more glue right here. Like I said, healthy amounts of glue. And then I'm going to let this go. And I'm gonna continue rolling it up. And actually, I put a bit too much glue over here because we want to leave about 4 to 5 inches. But that's okay. I'm just gonna remove that glue right now. Get my rope back on this side. And this one I'm actually gonna make a little knot right there. I'm gonna put this up like that. And we're gonna let this dry really quickly like this, okay? So I wanted to show you this. Look how cool. I was only attaching it originally from the front, but because you want to make sure that it doesn't move back, I just wrapped it around like this and then brought it to this side and then made a simple knot like so and then tightened it up. So now we're holding it from the front and the back, and we can be working on whatever else we need to be working while we ensure that this hardens completely. And then we don't have to be holding it. We don't have to be straining ourselves. This is super simple. So now let me show you how we're going to attach the next pool noodle. Let me just adjust my camera. So now, really simple. We're going to apply hot glue, a lot of it, right over here. Right here. Then we're going to make sure we follow the same shape. You don't want to do it like this. This is going to look a little wonky. So just move it to the approximate shape so that it looks like it's kind of going along the same route that the other one is. So I have here my clear duct tape only because I like to reinforce the seams, because the amount of pressure that's being put when we're making this into, a circular figure is a lot. So after I put hot glue, I'm going to put that duct tape. So see, I'm putting a generous amount of hot glue in there. And then simply, like so. And going to get a piece of duct tape. Going to make sure it's tight like that. And I'm going to circle it just like that. So normally you want to go all the way around it. And that's why I said I don't want to put hot glue all the way down here, and I had to remove some of it. And since it's really tight in there, just gonna slip it underneath just like so. And that way, it provides a little bit more reinforcement at the seam while allowing the hot glue to bind these two together. So once this dries, we can continue doing our lollipop shape again. So a couple minutes have passed and this is hardened. This is also hardened in here, but remember, it's only being held down by the glue. And this glue isn't insanely strong. It's pretty good, but there's still built up pressure in here. So you just want to be careful that you still keep a hand on it while you're rolling this up. So I'm going to quickly remove these over here, like so. And on this side as well. And now we're going to continue with our rolling process. Okay, so I have my glue sticks ready and I have my glue gun. So again, generous amounts of glue. There you go. And then we start the rolling process once more. we last left off. There you go. There you go. Perfect. And then let's roll. Remember, keep pushing down as you roll. There we go. There we go. And now that we're here, we're going to put in another glue stick. And continue with your glue. And then we continue. Remember to keep pressure on it from the top as you roll. We're trying to do all of this in one roll without having to strap it down. You want to leave several inches out. So this is about 6 to 8 inches that I'm leaving out so that I have enough room to work with when I attach the next piece. So remember, you want to make sure that this is in the middle of your lollipop right there. And we're going to go like this. So now, just like so. Oh, and I can actually probably do it this way. There we go. Make sure it's held on down really good. Just like this. See? And look how I did it. I went from one side to the other side. Look how I'm discovering things. This is actually a better hold when you do it like that. And as you can see, perfect circle. Everything is going just as planned. This is making it super, super easy. So as we wait for this part to dry, I actually ended up using 4 pool noodles because if I didn't, it wasn't going to be the same size as the other lollipops that I've made. So for this jumbo size, nice look, I would definitely use 4 pool noodles. And this contraption has made it so easy. I'm shocked that I didn't think of this before. It made it easy and fast. You don't have to hold it. And best of all, it keeps it in place. It keeps it straight. None of the insides are wobbling or looking wonky. It's just perfect. So now we're just going to finish it up really quickly and be done with it. Now that we're at the end right over here, look, I want to show you this. Look how straight all the sides are. It's just perfect. Just perfect how it is. So we're going to grab our rope, and for the last time, for the very last time, we're going to attach it right here, just like that. Make sure it's nice and taut, and do a basic loop. And there we go. We'll let this dry, but look at this. Oh, see? Over here it's still open, so we just have to turn it a little bit more, you know, just like so, right there. And what you want to do is make sure that this part right here touches the end right there. So we need to turn it just a little bitty more. And bam, just like that. Oh my goodness, look how awesome this is. I'm so excited. This is so exciting. I can't believe I didn't think of this before. This little wood 3-piece contraption made everything so much easier. It cut the time to make this in half. Didn't put any strain on anybody's arms. I love it. So we're just gonna wait for this to dry, and then we're gonna do the finishing pieces. So before we undo the rope and take it out, I like to pick a side that I like less than the other. Both sides look great, but for this reason, I'm going to pick this side. And this side, I'm going to apply extra glue in these seams. And this might be a bit of overkill, but I like to make sure that these stay glued together. So I'll get my glue gun and I'll just follow the seam just like that. Applying applying glue in between all of that. So I always like making the hole right next to where the last pool noodle came to. So I'm probably going to make the hole right there. And we're going to go straight through. Maybe not to all the way through the third one, but this looks like I can make it to 2.5. So we simply put it right here and we burn through. Look how easy. Right there. Burn through. Just like that. And then like that. You don't want to keep it in there for too long because it just melts everything super, super fast. And we'll probably need to make this hole a little bit bigger because we're using a 1-inch PVC. But that's how you do it. Easy breezy. You can't go wrong with that. Now that I've cut my PVC to the length I want it, it's time to insert it into the lollipop. Side note, I decided to go with a 3/4 inch instead of a 1 inch. I just felt that it looked a little bit better with this size and this color than going with 1 inch, but it's totally up to you to use whatever size is best. So then we grab it right there, and just like that, we twist it into the hole, and bam, it's done. So once we've gotten to this step right here that we've put the PVC inside, we are technically done. This is the finished product and this is how it looks like. The next step would be optional, to apply cellophane on top of it and put a bow on the bottom. It just dresses it up really nice. That's how I did all my other lollipops, but this one I'm going to do a little bit different. I bought colored ping pong balls and I have a lot of them. I'm going to place them strategically throughout the lollipop to make it look like some type of sugar sprinkle on it, something different. And then I'll probably wrap it with cellophane and put a bow on it. But it's totally up to you. It's optional, but this here is how it should look like. Some people like to wrap the PVC pipe with some tape. I have some colored red, yellow, and other colored tapes that I could wrap around it, but all of my lollipops are just white like this with this PVC, and we're ready. So let me show you how I'm going to do the next step. Okay, so I got this bag of 60 ping pong balls from Amazon. They're so awesome. So I've just placed them randomly. Really, where they fell is where I'm keeping them, and I'm trying to make it look like it has sprinkles on it. I think it's looking really awesome. So now I'm going to get my glue gun, and each individual one I'm going to put glue on the bottom and then stick like that. And you don't have to do this, but I just thought it would make it look that much more special. All my other lollipops are without this, so this is just something extra I'm doing for those who want to just spice it up just a little bit, but it's totally up to you. So I'm just going to stick them real quick with hot glue, and we'll be done with that. Okay, so over here I have unfurled cellophane right here. This one's almost 40 inches wide. And what I'm doing is I put some underneath it, and I'm putting some on top, just like this. So this is completely optional, but I think it elevates it just a little bit. I'm going to leave about 8 to 10 inches on the bottom over here. I'll cut it right there on the bottom. Then I'm going to bend this cellophane backwards and attach it with some clear boxing tape or Gorilla Glue clear duct tape. Or you could wrap it like this on the side and then stick it with some tape like that. Either way is fine. But once we're done with that, we can attach a bow right here to bring it all together. A burlap bow, a red bow, whatever you want to do, you can attach it right here so that it holds it in place and it looks really, really nicely. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. So this is how it should look like once it's done. Look at this. And if you see the back, we need just a little bit more tape here. Maybe some more tape over here, maybe a little bit of tape right there, but that's it, it's done. I used a pipe cleaner that I had just to hold it for right now, but you could use twine, you could use a little bit of rope just to hold it in place. And then I found this bow, and it's gonna go attached like that. You could use any type of bow, you could put anything you want, it's up to you, but it just came out so awesome. A second note, the cellophane also acts as a weatherproofer. So hot glue does not like rain, and if it gets wet, it sometimes detaches and it loses its adhesive. So this essentially protects the lollipop. When it does rain and it is cold, it will condense on the inside. So oftentimes after a good rain or maybe even some snow, you'll see condensation on the inside. That is normal. As soon as the sun comes out, it'll be gone in a couple hours. So don't worry if you see that happening to yours, but look at this, how awesome. Last thing also, the PVC pipe. I went almost three pool noodles deep, but you still want to make sure that it doesn't fall out or anything. So you could use some hot glue as soon as you put the rod inside, or you could use a little bit of expanding foam. It's a great adhesive as well, just to make sure that it doesn't topple over. Mine doesn't have any glue or foam on it, and it's pretty sturdy, I think. So let's put it out in the decorations. This has been so exciting.